What's going on, motorsports fans? This is Jared here with the Bearded Garagistas. Always with me is my brother Brett.
Always next to this jackass.
Whatever. And tonight we have Felix.
What's up, guys?
Felix, he drives a 01 C5 Vet. What's your Instagram handle?
Royal Felix.
Royal Felix. So you can find him on
I like
Instagram. Does a lot of cool things with that Vet. I'm not going to lie. He's running the International Roll Racing Association this year. Did you run it last year?
I didn't last year, no.
Didn't last year. So this is your first year.
I did just separate events. I didn't actually get into it.
Okay, so this is going to be your first year, though.
My first year, yeah.
All right, so first full year at IRRA. We're going to talk to him about this build, cars he's had previous, if he's had any. I don't know. I've known him through Instagram for a long time, but this is the first time I've actually sat down with the man and talked to him. If you are watching on YouTube, go ahead, like, subscribe, notifications if you can. Leave a comment. We love to hear from you guys. Always hit the like button. Please help us out. If you're on a podcast, 5 stars, go ahead and like it, subscribe it, throw it up there. Tell everybody where the website is. And yeah, so we're good to go. What are you laughing at?
I don't know. Something funny popped in my head. Don't worry about it.
I don't know what that meant, but I'm kind of terrified. All right, so some of the podcasts we've done your first car, like your first race car, and then up to the previous one. Some we've done this race car and then kind of jumped around.
Right.
I guess I don't know much about you, and I'm kind of excited to learn. So was the C5 Vet your first race car, or did you have something that you tinkered before?
I had bikes before, sport bikes. I had a 300ZX in high school. Okay. But as far as me building the car, the C5 is definitely my accomplishment for sure.
Okay. So this was like your first like real thing.
Yeah, this is like, besides the bikes are just cheap speed, but
yeah.
This was my first real build.
Okay. So then we'll jump right into the Vet, which I have no issues with. What was the first modification you made on that?
The first modification, so...
When you bought it, did you buy it stock?
I bought it already as a lint filter built. So it was already supercharged. But I had that old Roots blower on there.
Okay.
It's like produces mad heat. It's not the greatest blower. But to me, it was the fastest car that I've owned, that I've driven.
Right.
It made like 480, 470 to the wheels. And that's how I bought the car with that lint filter built supercharged.
Okay. So then what was the first thing you did after
the first thing I did to the car, I definitely put tires on there because that thing would just be spinning all over the place. Put some good tires on there, race some friends. I'm not sure when I put the nitrous on there. I think that was my next step, but it took me at least like 6 months of having the car.
Really? To
actually go ahead and put some nitrous on the car.
Did you put a kit on, or you built one parts and pieces?
Yeah, I just got some guy from Craigslist. He had a set for sale for $150, and it actually had a bad solenoid, so I had to get another solenoid or whatnot. But that was the first thing I did. I went ahead and got that nitrous set up, and yeah, I just put everything together. I even made bracket myself. Everything I did myself pretty much to get that nitrous going.
So in your experience of buying something off of something like Craigslist, was it nerve-wracking? Because a lot of people are like, I've seen actually 3 people, since we came out with Dark Knight's episode, I've seen like 3 people go out and buy the whole kit from Nitrous Outlet. What stopped you from wanting to like go buy a Nitrous Outlet kit or buy it off eBay? It was just, I was
just, money. It's pretty much it. Like if it was now, it's just get things new because you're gonna end up spending that money anyways.
Right.
You try to cheap out and like save some money, but especially on a nitrous kit, if you don't have a fuel solenoid working when you're hitting nitrous and you have it set up that way, it could damage the engine.
Right.
So it's definitely not worth it. But just some people, I couldn't afford getting everything brand new.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I actually financed the car. It was $10,000 when I bought it. I got a great deal on it.
That's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, I got a great deal on the car when I first bought it. But
damn.
Yeah.
For $10,000, I'd buy a Vet right now.
Cheap.
I don't know where I put the baby, bro. I'll put the baby in the back like a nitrous bottle, strap it into the trunk.
It fits, to tell you that much. But yeah, basically, I just, I couldn't really afford to buy a whole new kit, so I just went ahead and got something used.
Wasn't too bad, though.
Yeah, I mean, it worked for like 2 passes, and then the nitrous solenoid took a shit, and then I had to buy a new one, and then it worked ever since then after that, so.
There you go.
Worked pretty
not
good.
Bad, then.
Yeah, it came out clutch.
Is that all you got right now? Did you change the blower?
I changed the whole entire setup is completely different since when I first bought
the last thing I seen you do was the roll cage. So what what built up to all that? What'd you put in that bad boy?
All right, so essentially, I ran with the nitrous. I changed the pulley. I got more boost.
Which pulley did you put on?
I had back on that supercharger, on the old supercharger, I think it was like the smallest could fit was a 3.0.
Okay.
And I actually had to grind away at that supercharger to make that pulley
Really?
fit. Yeah, that pulley did not want to, for a reason. I did 2 passes after that, and that thing blew up. I literally made a hole in the piston. So it didn't last very long once I put that the nitrous and that lower or higher boost. It didn't last too long. Blew the engine. And I drove it home with a blown engine. The only reason I knew it was blown was because the catch cans were smoking like a train. Literally, they were.
Holy shit,
Yeah, they
dude.
were smoking
Oh
like
my
a train.
goodness.
Are you for real?
Yeah, but the engine was, idling good. The car drove. I was like, damn, what's up with this smoke? Damn, something got messed up.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
I got
crazy.
home. I got home. I checked out the car, and I figured out. I did a compression test the next morning, and 2 cylinders were dead.
But it made it all the way home.
It made it home
That's
driving
that
normal.
American muscle, baby.
Normal. It literally had no misfire, no loss of power. I felt like loss of power. Made it home, but yeah, I was pretty upset when it blew up. I was telling my girl, I was like, bro, I'm not fixing this shit. This car. I'm leaving it right here, man. I'm not even touching this car anymore. I had been through so much with the transmission braking.
Okay.
So once that went, I was like, oh my God, bro. Like, wasn't in the mood to do a whole engine build or whatnot.
Right.
So yeah, I blew the engine, and then after that, I sat maybe for like a month and a half, and I was like, you know what, I'm back to like wanting to fix the car, make it faster.
It's like a tattoo. You forget the pain after a while,
Exactly.
and then you want another one.
Totally forget about that
Does that
pain.
accomplishment, like getting it to then where you want it to be, of course it's not the ultimate goal, but overcoming that hardship, does it make the gratification that you got it there more? Or
It was definitely so gratifying. It was when I finished the whole engine build, right? It was a complete mission. It took me like 6-7 months. Getting the parts, putting everything. I put the engine in my living room. I put it together in my living room. And my girl was driving me crazy because I had a bunch of boxes everywhere. I had a huge mess. Yeah, she was driving
My
me
wife
nuts.
would've killed me, bro.
Bro, she was driving, but she was very supportive all the time. She's like, oh, don't worry. Like, sometimes I don't want to not work on it. And she was like, hey, work on it, finish it. She probably wanted me to get everything out of the house. But
Yeah.
she was pretty
Where's this
supportive.
bolt go? Can I put this one in?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I built the whole engine, everything forged.
are you thankful for the experience because you were able to do that? Or I'm sure you rather it not have happened at all, but
But I would have
But what
definitely
you were able to put into it now, right? You put better parts in.
everything
So-
right now is upgraded. Thankfully, I had the money to spend on it. I spend it wisely. Usually I get like credit cards. Like they said, they give you like bonuses. So
Okay.
they give you like $600 if you use more than a certain amount. So I mean, literally the build cost me like $3,500.
35. So the whole
Yeah,
bill
so-
was $3,500 to get it running again.
To get everything running it, because I sold the old supercharger. I saved money with the credit cards, doing this, doing that, and it didn't come out to as much as it would have been, because it would have been like 10 grand.
Well, you did a smart build though. Selling that old supercharger probably,
Yeah.
get a little more of.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
exactly. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
you're a smart guy.
Hey, I had to came up somehow, because that was a lot of money to spend on that build. But like I was saying, it was definitely very gratifying having that whole experience of me putting everything together, spending all those nights. I had the little tent over the front yard.
By yourself or anybody help you?
My girlfriend every now and then. I'm like, hey babe, I can't get to this. Come here. And then she'll come over and like hold something for me. Or when I was putting the engine in, she'll have the cherry picker cranking it down. I was putting it in place.
Damn,
Did you already
man.
know what you were doing, or did you like have you had training before? Are you a mechanic, or
Well, yeah,
did you YouTube or university? Like
Both. I'm not gonna lie, but I am a master technician.
Okay.
I work at a dealer. But people rank on people who watch YouTube. Bullshit, bro. YouTube helps a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's certain things that like you're not familiar with. And I just look that shit up and I go, oh shit, cool, all right, that works. And I mean, it's working because the car's moving good. So whatever I did, it worked. Cause,
YouTube must work.
Yeah, bro. I'm not gonna lie, and it's helped me out a lot. And I mean, it was pretty cool, man. Not gonna
Raise
lie.
him up.
You gotta love YouTube, man.
Yeah, man, for sure.
That's
Can't.
pretty good. So after you redid the engine, You put on a different blower.
Yeah.
What blower would you put on now?
It's a YSI B, so it's like one of the biggest blowers you put on there.
Okay.
Besides the F1X and all that good stuff, but the F1X is really for higher power levels, like 1300. So it has lag down low. So the YSI is like literally perfect for the build I have now.
Okay. And then what do you want to? Are you cool with talking horsepower and what you're pushing out? Or what are you pushing out of the wheels?
I have no idea. I've never put the car on a dyno.
Oh my god.
Never put the car on a dyno.
Oh my
Wow,
god.
man.
Yeah, man. Never put the car on a dyno. I've actually have a tuner from Texas, Brett Barberry. Super cool dude, very knowledgeable. I had an issue with my old tuner. I dropped him, and then I hooked up with this guy. And it's funny how I met him. I actually met this other guy buying an alternator. Because he sells wholesale parts.
No,
Right.
small world,
So,
huh?
yeah, bro. So I actually bought the alternator from him, and then I ended up actually talking to him. Oh yeah, I'm doing this engine build. Oh really? Yeah. What is it? So I talked to him about it too, and he's like, oh, if you need me to tune, I know how to tune. I was like, all right, no doubt, and it worked out perfectly to where I needed a new tuner.
So what are you doing? Street pulls and then sending him the data logs or something like that?
That's what I did on the first setup. So he actually taught me how to mess with the tune. So the first 4 data logs, that's what I did. So make sure look at the AFR, make sure you don't go lean, do a pull. He set it up rich, so I didn't even have to do that. Like the first pull was like a 9 AFR or something like that. So it was super rich. And then I sent the data log, he fixed it up, uploaded it, and then after that he actually taught me if drivability tune, drive the car, do this, get the car running right, do pulls. If you have to make adjustments, this is what you got to do. So he actually taught me how to tune my own car, which I was grateful for because
That's pretty legit.
yeah, man, not a lot of tuners will teach you how to tune your own car.
no,
I
a
was
lot
just
of them,
thinking
like,
the same thing.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like trade secret for a lot of them. They kind of
Exactly.
I don't want to put that in there. Like I don't want to tell you.
Yeah.
They'll tell you just enough to where you can kind of work on it, but not perfect it. Like
Right.
trade secret kind of thing. But that's pretty legit. That's a
man.
pretty good tuner.
Yeah, for sure.
What So what big races have you raced now? Because we know everybody messes around in Mexico every once in a while, but
Right.
we're not gonna we try not to bring that up here because we never want to be the reason why stuff goes wrong and bad things happen and stuff like that. So, as far as big events, I don't remember. I know you've raced down at Homestead every once in a while. I've
Right.
seen some little clips.
Right.
Are those events down there? What is that? Is it like a
Yeah,
testing
it's
tune?
a fast lane Friday. It's like a test and tune, 1/8 mile, but it's not a real track. They literally only have the first 60-foot prepped, and then everything else is just concrete. So it's literally like if you're racing on the street.
Bro.
Yeah, it's not a real track
Wow.
at all.
That's scary.
But it's 10 minutes from my house.
Okay, so I mean,
that's
That'll
why I
work.
go there. Yeah.
there you go.
But it's a cool spot to test out your 60-foot, and if you can get it to hook there, you're gonna get it to hook anywhere.
That makes sense. I mean, if you got a good 60-foot, If
Yeah,
you got
for sure.
Yeah. Have you? That's digs though.
Digs
Are
only.
we? Have you roll raced on a track yet?
Well, at IRRA, I did roll race there. I used to roll race a lot, even
Oh,
when
you
I
did the fun runs. Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, I did the fun runs. I did that there, and even before that, when I first bought the car, I always did roll racing over at the track. Tried some digs, but it didn't work out too well.
So what were you trapping? All right. So last year when you were doing the fun runs,
Right.
were all the same parts in the car as there is now?
Last year, I think, is when I actually finished the builds. So yeah, it was the same parts that I had on the car.
Minus like the roll cage you had to put in
Right.
and all that.
Right.
What was it trapping back then? Do you remember?
150.
All right. So like dead on 150.
Yeah.
Your hair's sticking to the side and it's driving me nuts.
What?
You mean the bun over here?
Yeah.
Leave him alone, man. It looks good.
No, it's bro, because this camera is shooting right at the side of that
That's
button.
gonna fine. It's gonna be a nice little
That's
flap every once in a while, bro. It's all right. Just wave it to the camera.
Oh man.
No,
Making him
so
a man bun.
150.
Not regular.
That's pretty respectable. Where does that put him?
C2 class.
C2.
Yeah, C2 class.
Damn.
Yeah, the car's moving, man. The car's.
You know who you're going against, right?
Oh, I know. The whole. There's an elite force that should be like, way up there, but
you got.
Damn, bro.
Yeah,
he's got K24 Red Dragon. He's got Feed My Fast. He's
Sinclair.
got
Me and him have some background
Sinclair.
too. Yeah.
He's got JP EG6
JP
Reynolds
shit is running
44.
hard. His car's running
Frustrate C2.
hard. Man, it's crazy. That class is so crazy. But I
That
tell
class
you
is
what,
gonna be nuts.
them Texas
That's
Killer,
insane.
Frustrate, them guys gonna have trouble. because you can't just hit it and then hit the brakes at the end.
Right.
Because Chris set up that 1/8 breakout.
Right.
Which is great. So they're gonna. I
Which
mean,
is great.
Hell yeah! Because imagine if not, you go blast through somebody and then just hit the brakes at the end and you win.
The 1/8 breakout is definitely going to keep the classes tight this year. The rule changes, I've been around since season 1, so I've seen the rule changes kind of gradually get, either more strict, more lax. They've changed the classes. They've tightened it up with the 1/8 breakout. Right. I've seen them do a lot of good things, and it's getting better and better. And I feel
overall, most people like it. They love the direction that it's going, but it definitely definitely catches people though.
My thing is this: like if people are like, oh, roll racing, you don't start at the same time. It's they think of roll racing on the street, and for all intents and purposes, it is, but it isn't. Because when you do it at IRRA, they have the speed gun, they have a do with the light, they make sure everybody's lined up or as lined up as possible.
Right.
Yes, it's not exactly like a dig race where everybody's leaving at the same time, finishing whatever, but it's not like a roll race on the street. There are two different things. So
sure.
I'm stoked to see where it's going to go. I'm stoked to see you go against some of these big boys, bro.
Actually, my race that I'm looking forward to the most is actually Sinclair. Because I raced him like 3 years ago when I had first bought the car and I had just put the nitrous.
Okay.
And I raced him, but I had no idea who he was or what the car looked like complete junk. Like this, that's why I always make fun of him with his bumper. His bumper was like falling off, right?
He got a new one though.
Yes,
Did you
I
see
know.
the video?
That's why, yeah. He got Happy Birthday,
though.
Felix. He's me and him from back then. So me and him back then. I raced him. I was like, damn, look at this 240. I'm like, yo, that thing looks banged up. So I didn't even have the nitrous. I was like, yo, I'm just running without the nitrous.
Don't do that.
Yeah, no.
Don't
but
ever underestimate.
I ended up winning that race. I got him off the pool, and then he started catching me at the big end, but he didn't have enough real estate.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I have that old architect video. Always ranking on him. Me and him go back.
Funny.
So I'm willing to see his new build and.
I think the new build's going to be more powerful straight from the get because
it's going to be sick.
That was Sinclair's thing. Watching him race in season 1 and season 2, he was slow off the line and then he'd run people down in the big end. Right. But I think the new build, I mean, from the parts that he seems to be putting in there, he's putting in some power.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
I think he's gonna
That's literally my favorite race. I think it's gonna be a door-to-door race, to be honest. So that's the race I'm looking
That's
forward
going to be a hell of a race because you got that JDM versus American Muscle.
Hell yeah. Everybody's going to be soaked about that one for sure.
That's going to be a good race.
Are you confident for that class or have you thought at all trying to maybe get it down a little bit?
No, I'm
actually
pretty confident on that class since there is that 155 breakout.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be right there. So I'm pretty happy where the car is on that level. I did a few more things since I ran that 150, so it should be like 153 more or less. That's my guesstimate. So it's pretty good for where it's at.
But that's good because you can go full send and not have to worry about having to slow down.
I don't have to worry about brake or anything like that.
Whereas those big guys, they're gonna have to driver mod the shit out of that car.
Because even if they're ahead, they're like, damn, am I gonna brake out or not? Yeah. Do I have to slow down?
And for the 1/8, they can't just jump on it. They have to gradually come up through the gears. So it's not like they're just gonna be banging through gears. They gotta. There's going to be a lot of play.
That's my favorite style of racing.
Send it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I like sending it too.
Yeah, that's my setup for sure.
Tune it to where you're right at the top of the class and just go for it.
Exactly.
That has to be the best way to do it. I mean, if you can get to where you're at without having to like slow down or brake, that's essentially what I'm sure with these guys. That's what they're going to try to do. Turn down the boost to where they have to only trap 155.
Something in one. How much does your car weigh?
3,200 from the factory, but it's a little heavier now. It's a little heavier.
So you got to be pushing like from 150.
I'm guessing
800.
Yeah, like anywhere from 800 to 900 is where the car should be at.
Yeah, that's probably where it's going to be. I mean, is this your goal? You're stopping here, or do we have some things coming down the pipe?
At the track, maybe.
Until I get beat. Hey, baby.
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, I mean, what's stopping me now is my transmission. I don't know how much more it can hold because.
Is it the stock one that came in?
No, it's a built transmission, but it's made to hold 1,000. So I'm right close to it. So I don't know if I want to get that close or not. Yeah. So that's pretty much what's holding me back from,
A very wise man once said to me, he goes by the name of Corey Grayley, and I could have sworn in his interview he said, "Send it."
Oh, man.
That's for you, bro.
That's an expensive send it.
Yo, if you knew Corey, I don't think he really cares. Bro, I love it. He actually set a new personal best.
Yeah, I've seen him, and we have I'm sure you guys know we have a chat just for the racers.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's talking in there sometimes, and he showed the videos.
I'm
or
sure
whatnot.
he is.
And
He's got to be proud of that, bro.
yeah,
Hell
man,
yeah.
super, super cool. I was stoked
Hell
for him.
yeah.
I was like, that car, and it doesn't have a crazy mile an hour.
It's-
But that car hauls ass off the
Yeah.
line,
It
bro.
sticks, it squats, it goes, and it's dead straight. And
Nasty.
he drives the shit out of it.
Nasty,
Yeah.
nasty.
So he is C3 though.
C3, right?
So you won't have to worry about him too much.
Yeah.
I think he can go C2, but I don't.
There's
I don't,
more he could do.
There's more
like
he
it-
can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Speaking of, is there anything you could do to get the weight down?
But on a Corvette, it's so hard because the car is already fiberglass. Everything's super light.
there's only 2 seats. It's not like you can start ripping out
and the
seats.
seats actually only weigh 45 pounds.
Really?
Yeah, the seats are light in the car as is. I took out the passenger seat. I have an aluminum seat now, but it's just so hard. I mean, you can take off the wiper motors and a couple
have to,
other
like,
things.
drop the AC and stuff
right,
like
drop
that.
the AC. You could do a couple things, but I want to maintain the car for the street also. It's AC, power steering. I have a stereo system. The car is still a street car minus the cage and the aluminum seat. You know what I'm saying?
What made you do the cage?
My girl has been telling me to get a cage actually since I had the car because it's a convertible. So she's like, bro, you're going to kill yourself. You're
You're
going
a
to flip
smart
the car.
girl, man.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know if I want to get a cage. They look kind of ugly.
It looked good though. I like it.
I saw RPM roll cage. They actually helped me out with that big time. And they hooked me up big time. I actually got the cage before some guys that ordered it ahead of time. Because I was supposed to make it to the event,
Right.
showcase it or whatnot. And he told me, bro, I could paint it whatever color you want to match the car. I was like, bro, fantastic. So he actually, he actually got it painted pearl white for me.
Nice.
So it actually looks like
What
it came with
company
the
is
car.
this?
RPM Roll Bar.
RPM Roll Bar. Where
Yeah.
are they from?
I think Ohio, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, RPM Roll Bar. There you go. He set you out there.
Yeah,
Getting
man,
you out
for
on the
sure.
show. Everybody's gonna hopefully hear it, and it's gonna be good to go. What? You gonna look at it? It's down at the
Can't.
bottom. It's down at the
Can't.
bottom.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't? Oh, we
We
don't have
don't have
internet.
Wi-Fi.
Stop minusing it down though. Stop playing around. We'll get Wi-Fi eventually. As the show grows, we'll get more Wi-Fi.
You could do a hotspot off the phone.
You could.
So if we're at our other spot, wouldn't be a problem.
So if the transmission wasn't that big, like if you picked up a sponsor or something like that, and they helped you work on the tranny,
Then I could definitely put more power down.
And
but
we're going.
I wouldn't be able to run the C2 class.
who cares? So you take C1, go after MPI.
Crazy shit. Crazy shit. I actually
Well, the thing is about that though is like the C1 class is fast, but there's not a lot of cars.
but it's unlimited fast.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about right now, underground racing doesn't come out to it. Right, so you're not worrying about these like 230
Right.
30 mile an hour Lambos.
Right.
Plus, they're doing 60 rolls at TX2K. You know that, right?
I had no idea. I thought they were doing 40 rolls.
At TX2K, they do 60 rolls, and that's why they're hitting 230, 220, stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, they probably could still hit it from a 40 roll too. It's not that much difference.
Right.
But I don't think you would see that 230 mark, 220 mark. That's why I think when you watch MPI's GTR, the Nismo that goes out there,
Right.
I think that one, the most I've ever seen that one go is 199. I think the dude's name is Asser's got another GTR.
Asir, yeah.
Asir, yeah.
Yeah.
He's I watched him go 198. So like you're up at the 200 mark.
Right.
But I've only seen GTRs and Lambos do that. I've seen the Integra.
Yeah.
The Integra
Yeah,
did it
yeah,
at
yeah.
TX2K, did over 200 mile
But
an hour
that's a big mile an hour, bro.
That's
that
a big
shit is
mile an hour,
scary.
bro. But from a Corvette, you could be the first Corvette out there doing 200,
Bro,
bro.
that's so much. I would probably have to spend like another $100,000, literally, to get that car to go 200 miles an hour, bro. That shit is insane. Like that mile an hour is.
Once you get up there, it takes more and more to
so
get.
much more. Like you
little
can go,
gains.
from 110 to 120 with 100 horsepower, right? Once you start getting to a certain limit, it's just
Yep.
so much harder to pick up mile an hour. You have so much
Right,
force against
for
the
sure.
car. It's crazy to get that mile an hour. Let me tell you.
It's gonna be nuts, dude.
Yeah, man.
What are you looking to like FL2K? You want to travel at all? Or?
Definitely. I'm looking forward to for Florida 2K this year. My sister actually lives down that way, so I can trailer the car over there and then just go to the event.
That works.
And
That's nice.
and check it out. See how it runs out. I'm actually looking forward to trying to run the car from a dig and having a successful run. But it's just
that
so hard.
sounded like there were many unsuccessful runs.
So many more than
It's a
actual.
it's a completely different thing. You got to start working on suspension, how the
Yeah.
car's going to swat
Yeah,
and catch and
yeah.
sit. And like you have, PSI on the tires. There's a lot of stuff that you have to figure out.
Different
So
ball game for sure.
before you get out the FL2K, I would tell you probably, Friday night, testing tunes and try to tune that up.
Definitely.
I have a question for you, and I'm stoked that you come from Miami, right? You're way down south.
Way down south.
So
yeah.
we're recording in Pompano right now, and he drove about an hour and 10 minutes to get here from down south. That being said, the track from here to PBIR is about an hour and 10 minutes north.
Right.
What's it? The biggest complaint I've heard from people that are down in Miami is that's a long trip.
Yeah.
Does that something that sets you off, or puts you off, or is it something like, you know what, it is what it is, I can go race?
Man, at times, it's such a hassle to, especially if the weather's kind of iffy. You're like, damn, I have to bust all this mission, travel 2 hours, and then get over there, and then it might be raining. So it does set you off a bit compared to like being somewhere close. You're like, all right, I just do it anyways. It's 30 minutes,
Right.
But being 2 hours away, it's definitely like, damn, it's kind of far.
Right.
But it's racing, so you got to do what you got to do.
If you see rain in the forecast, do you just stay home or do you go?
Normally, I would. Like if I see like 40-50%, I'm like, it's Miami, and But I've seen 60-70%, and then everyone's at the track running. Yep. I'm like, oh my god! And then the day I went, the first IRRA event, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna go, and hopefully, and it poured rain like there was no tomorrow. Like I got stuck without.
That was a heartbreaking day,
bro.
So that being said, if something like County Line came back, if Miami opened up another drag strip, would you be more inclined to go to the drag strip and stay off the street?
Definitely. If it was somewhere where I could, drive 30 minutes away and race at the track, it's you chill there, you hang out with people, you race. The only reason you have to do what you got to do on the streets is because it is fun sometimes, but to a certain extent. I am a track guy. I do like the track. Some people I just like the street. I just like to street race. I'm definitely more towards the track, but since the street is, down the block, it's.
Oh, you know my thing. My thing about street racing is, I think that street racing is like it's a way out. I said it, motherfuckers. I said it. It's a way out. Because my thing is
that's bold.
When you're out on the street, there's well, it's different now than it was, right? Nowadays, you got cell phones, and everybody's going to go ahead and record that shit, so it's going to be out there anyway. I understand that, but my thing is, when you're on the track, you are in a sanctioned place. You're, especially with something like IRRA, they have you on the gun.
Right.
They know when you're leaving. Everything is set, and your run better be that good.
Right.
When you do something on the street, it's always like, I didn't hear the count. I missed a gear.
Yeah.
You could have I literally saw a video the other day of a boy counting, like usually the drivers count it off. One of the drivers count it off, and then it switches the next run. The next driver, the other driver will count it off. I seen another dude drive. I've seen one dude actually try to shift for his friend. Like 2 hands on the steering wheel, he puts in the clutch. The other dude try to grab the shift. So like things like that. Like when you're at the track, it's one dude is in the car. It's all about that dude, and that dude's got to get it right, or that girl. Sorry, that lady got to get it right. When you're on the street, there's so much other garbage that seems to go on that's what drives me nuts, and that's why I say it's a way out. I would, if you think you're that good, if you think you're going to win a race, and if you're that confident, take it to the street. I mean, take it to the track. Put it out there in front of everybody and run it. It's a set surface. There's a lot more grip.
Yeah, you have the deadline where if you win at that point, some people get ahead of someone and they'll let off early and say, "Oh, I won the race." But at the track, it's a green light over there. That's what's gonna tell you what's gonna win. You better stay on it.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly. Like you don't know. Oh well, that guy jumped out. Well, the car you were racing was a Honda. That shit don't kick in till like 80 miles an hour.
Right.
So yeah, you pulled on him 2 car lengths, but watch that Honda run you down. So like those are the things that I'm like, take it to the track and let's see what you actually run.
Right.
But that's why I say what I say. What, you got a problem with it?
I don't got a problem with it. I just prefer the track for safety reasons. I like your point.
Is the Vet, was that your dream car? Why did you, or you just found a good deal and you were just all over it?
It was a little bit of everything. So I actually had a friend who had a Vet, right? I drove that Vet, and I was like, holy shit, like, I'm going to get a Vet in the future. Like, I drove that thing, it was going sideways, and I was banging gears, and I was still passing the car that was next to me, and he was racing too. And I was like, bro, before that, I had a BMW, and I had bikes, like I said before. But that feeling of being in that vet is just it. I hadn't felt that before. It's like, bro, in the future I'm gonna get it. And like a year later, it's when I ended up, getting the vet.
It's funny he says that because what's the shaved kitty was like, dude. We drove Hellcats, and that day we knew we were getting Hellcats. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting that you get your ass in that seat, and then you're like, yo, I want this.
Yeah. Where did that racing desire come from?
That's a good question. So my stepdad had an old Z28 Camaro, right?
That'll do it.
Yeah, loudest thing you heard in your life. Like when I was in my friend's house, he'll come pick me up. You'll hear that thing from like 3 blocks away because he drove it like he stole it all the time.
Well, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah, pretty much. So he actually street raced with me in the car. I was like 8 years old, and he would just be anybody that lined up next to him, he would race him. He's one of those crazy Cubans.
Stepfathers.
Yeah, for sure. One of those crazy Cubans. So I guess, got me like, damn, this is pretty amazing. And besides that, it was just ever since then, I just kept racing. I had a Honda Prelude back in the day, the 300ZX.
That'd have been the car to keep.
Bro.
You see the hurt in this man's face right here.
Kick a man in the gonads, why don't you?
So I had that 300ZX.
What happened with the 300ZX?
I had that 300ZX in high school, right? It was.
Oh my god.
Yeah, T-top. That car was so cool, man. So cool. I bought the car with a blown engine. I didn't know. I bought the car. We replaced the engine, right?
So this was before you were a mechanic.
Right. This car made me a mechanic, literally. Like this car
I was about to ask you where the mechanic come from.
This car, I swear to God, made me a mechanic. It was broken more than it was fixed. So my stepdad was actually a mechanic from Cuba and all that stuff, so he knew how to work on cars. So I was always with him working on the car.
Those guys are great mechanics.
Yeah.
It's because they can make anything run out of nothing.
I know.
Bro, if you have an issue and something's not working, he'll JB weld, he'll get some Scotch tape, he'll make it work.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, that car was broken more than it was fixed, but I loved it. Like that car was actually really dope. It sat at my mom's house for a while after I got the Prelude because the transmission blew out. I replaced the transmission, and then I stopped driving it because the engine started to knock again. And it was stock. It was stock car. Stock car. I was like, why is this thing breaking so much?
I didn't even do anything to it yet.
Yeah, I was just driving like shit. Like I would put it in neutral and jam the thing into drive, and I drove that thing like I stole it for real.
Neutral drops in an automatic car.
Yes, bro. Yes. High school days.
I used to do it in high school too.
Awesome days. So it ended up being on brakes at my mom's house for like 2 years. Right, I had moved out. I got married. I had moved out. My stepdad couldn't get the car out because I had sold the wheels. I had sold all the parts in the car, right, that I could sell. So he had no way to get the car out because it was in the backyard. He literally chopped it up into pieces.
Sawzalled that.
Yes, bro. Chopped it up into pieces and got rid of it for scrap metal.
Why do you say that your stepdad would do that? Because my stepdad would do that too.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
With Pete, bro, that thing be gone, bro.
Yep.
He'd be like, yo, you left it here for like 3 days. I called you. You didn't say nothing.
It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. And they told me after, I was like, oh, Eric, because I didn't really pay attention to the car anymore. I was like, oh, what happened to the car? It's not. I was like, oh, I chopped it into pieces and I got rid of it. I was like, what the hell, man?
You know he listens too, right?
Does he?
Yeah.
Shit. Well, that'd have been the car to keep though.
Yeah, man, definitely. That car was cool.
If there was any car out there that you could get, would you stick with the Vet or would you switch?
Man.
Any want to go to import or?
Not at all, bro. Not at all, to be honest.
That's what I'm talking about.
Not at all.
That's what I'm talking about.
I actually really, really, really enjoy this car. Like, it's just so much fun to drive. And that torque, you get on it, it's just completely different. Because I have buddies who have different cars, I ride in their cars, and it's just a completely different feeling. When you drive a V8, torque, some guys like the front-wheel drive, they're spinning and popping gears, whatever, it's cool. But to me, it's, that V8 torque, and it's just amazing. I love the feeling when driving that car.
What's the nitrous shot right now?
No nitrous yet.
Oh, you don't have the nitrous yet?
No. When I built this new engine with the new supercharger, I never put the nitrous back on. So it's making that power just with the blower.
Damn, bro, you didn't say that.
Yeah.
Are we putting nitrous back in it? You're scared about the transmission.
Yeah, that's what's holding me back. Because I've thought about it, and let me tell you, I got some races that are pretty close, so I know the car could do a lot more, even with just a 100 shot. the car would move a lot better, but I don't know.
Man, you didn't say that.
Yeah,
we gotta
You've
find
been
a,
tricking me this whole time.
Nah, no nitrous now, man. Not with this setup. No nitrous.
You and Dark Knight C6 got to get together and let him wire you in some nitrous, bro.
Bro, I have the whole thing wired up.
His setup was it's wired up
From
already.
before, yeah. I have everything.
So you didn't have to take anything off of that setup when you put
just
the new...
the solenoids. The only thing I took off was the solenoids from the old setup. That's it.
so it's there. You just
Everything
gotta
is there.
attach a bottle to it.
Attach the bottle, put new solenoids, and
Damn, man.
rock and roll. So
Wow.
that's why it's so tempting.
Oh
But
my God, dude, it's right there.
yes, literally right there. Like it's that close to giving that much more power. But like I said, I don't know if the transmission will hold out. So
That's got to be. Sponsors.
please,
Sponsors.
DM the man.
What are your thoughts on the more recent Corvettes?
man, I like
new
I like
C8.
I like the C8. I haven't seen one in person. I've only seen it in videos and whatnot. They're pretty cool cars. It's just it's like a Ferrari. They've literally made it into Ferrari.
Yeah.
It's a super cool car. I haven't been in the one to give much input on it, to be honest.
Are you one of those Corvette people that were really upset with the way that they did
Not at all.
the transition that they made, both C7 and
To
C8?
mid? Bro, I think that was the best
Yeah,
transition.
No,
that's-
but even the way that the C7 looked, people got so mad at the way it looked. And
Well,
you
that
got
was
rid of
because-
the taillights. And
Yeah, the big thing was the
and
taillights and the
diffuser
headlights
and-
don't pop up and the
Yeah.
diffuser's weird. But like,
I know.
my thing is, I think the C8, I think this is the C8 Vet went where it needed to go.
Definitely.
Like
Definitely.
they did everything they could with that long nose front engine. They needed to change it up, give it that revitalization of juice, and get it to go against a lot of those mid-engine cars. And
For sure.
when you look at a lot of the success that the Ford GT had in Le Mans and all that stuff, which sad news. I don't know did you hear?
Oh, yeah.
The Corvette pulled out of Le Mans this year. So
No way.
Porsche pulled out first, and then the
Damn. The
Corvette,
Porsche
the
American team.
the Porsche American team pulled out first, and then the Corvette American team pulled out.
Shit.
So they're still racing
There may be
some of the other
customer
racers,
teams
but
there.
might be some customer teams, and they're still racing some of the other races in the season. But as far as Le Mans goes, they won't be there.
Damn, that sucks.
And we did watch the first race they had at was it Daytona Rolex,
Yeah.
and they did well
They
in the beginning.
Surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, they surprised a lot of people. They did well in the beginning, and then later on in the race, they kind of fell off.
Right.
So we kind of expected them to. I think when Corona came around, the virus came around, everything shut down. I think what they did, they were like, well, that was the time that we had scheduled to develop up until Le Mans, to where we
Right.
would go to Le Mans and be competitive. And this is just my opinion. I feel like now that they don't have that time. They didn't have that time in the factory with all their workers, right? Everybody had to be sent home. That they didn't have the R&D time.
If they do it, they want to do it right.
Right. If they
Yeah,
do,
makes
they're going to
sense.
do it right. So we'll see. No, but yeah, I'm excited to see the vet out there. Do you have any sponsors or anything like that, or are you doing it all by yourself right now?
Pretty much everything myself. Like I said, RPM Roll Cage is the only guys that sponsor me and help me out. Besides that, everything else has just been out of my pocket.
Damn, dude,
Everything, yeah.
You got some conviction.
that's passion for the sport right there.
Big time, bro. Big time. Everything's been me and my money and just, solo team. It's been hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's been hard.
So has this car become your baby?
100%. 100%. Even when I go out to hang out, like, that's my baby. Don't get too close.
I think he's gonna. I think that's the kind of like when you put that much dedication, time, money, effort into something. That's something that you usually hold on to for a really long time. So
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I'm excited to see you out there, man. Any other stuff that you wanted to throw out there to everybody? While you want to talk shit for a couple of minutes and tell Sinclair you coming for?
You already did that.
Yeah, I
man.
already did that, man. That's really one of the races that I'm looking forward to be honest. Actually, Dan GTR, Dan Animal? Well,
Danimal.
Danimal?
Yeah.
I was looking forward to racing him too because me and him were just about there, but Chris, required the safety on his car and he kind of didn't want to go that route with his car. So he dropped down a class. Kind of sucks. Like, I was looking forward to racing him at the track.
I don't know about that, man. You got a fast enough car to have to put some safety in it. I think you would probably put some safety in it.
Right. And his, I think it was just to get the 5-point harness.
Right. So it's just a bar. All right. So from what I understand and what I've seen, most people do is they'll take the seatbelts out. They'll undo that. There's a
Right.
bar that goes across the car from the B pillar to the B pillar. They bolt it in, and that's what the 5-point harness comes off of.
Correct.
You could take that back out and put the regular
Yeah.
seatbelts back in and resell the car, no problem. So
Yeah.
for an upgrade like that on a $90,000 car, hopefully maybe he'll come on the show and explain why.
But it would be cool if he got back up to the class where he should be. He would be definitely competitive with us in that class for sure.
It's gonna be good.
I don't know, man. That sounded like you thought you were a little better than all the lower classes. I'm just us getting back there with us.
Well,
Us.
the faster,
There was some
faster
emphasis
car.
on us.
That's gonna be
man.
good. This is gonna be a good C2 is gonna be fire. I can't wait. I can't wait for the season to kick off. Right now, there's the tentative date, right? June 6th, I think, is the
Right.
tentative date. So they're hoping that
That's exciting.
Can't
right
wait.
around the
to be
corner,
honest,
bro. It's right around the corner. But yeah, so that's really. I just wanted to get to know you in this first episode. I do want to bring you back after the IRRA season
For sure.
Hopefully, you got some hardware that you go home with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really wanted to get you on the show because I followed you on Instagram. We followed each other on my photography page, and then the Bearded Garagistas page. You supported it right away, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Thank you.
I've known you for so long, but I've never got to know you.
Yeah, it's
so
pretty cool, man.
When we had the opening, I was like, yo, we got to get Felix on. We got to bring him on. Because I knew you were gonna probably call out somebody. So I was hoping
He gets very excited when people call other people
Bro,
out.
I mean,
That's like
it's seeing a good matchup is fun. Seeing
If
a
we
good
get
matchup
through
is
an
fun.
episode and the guest hasn't called anyone out,
well, my thing is this: the reason why I like to call outs is a lot of the times racers will call out people who are on par to them. They'll never call anybody out who's stupid slow or stupid fast because that's just
Right.
stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
But they'll call somebody out who's on par, and I don't know what Sinclair's car is pushing now, but what Sinclair's car was pushing would have been a good race for you at 150. That would have been 153, whatever you're pushing right now. That would have been a hell of a race for that class. So I think it's still going to be a good race. I don't
like
know.
racing. That's all. You want close competition.
I love
that.
watching
I
two
love that.
cars.
That is
Yeah,
right
man,
there.
I don't
Best
want to
feeling.
see
When you see somebody just dog you, you're like,
domination. Yeah.
It's not even that.
Or when you just dog someone, it's like, unless you hate the guy, but unless you hate the guy, it's no fun. But
Unless you hate the guy.
yeah, but those races to me, I enjoy the most races I enjoy is when it's door to door, when they beat you
Right.
by a little bit or you beat them by a little bit. To me, those are the funnest races to have. Like as soon as that race is done, I'm pumped. I'm like, damn, that shit was crazy as
Yeah,
hell.
even the rundown races, I don't mind them, but the door to door races,
Yeah.
those
That's
are the
that's
real
when your
barn
heart just
burners.
starts going.
Yeah.
Man.
Those are the ones to go see.
Bro,
Those
you
are
know
the
what's
ones I
funny?
love.
A year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, me and JP were supposed to race
Okay.
at an event, and he had his buddy. I like to talk a lot of shit. That big buff guy. I don't know.
Bro.
Bro, that guy's a disaster.
I know who you're talking about.
That guy's a disaster.
He's a decent dude when you talk to him, but if there is one person that can get under your skin, it's him.
I just blocked him.
Yeah,
I just blocked him.
that dude talks so much shit.
Shit like crazy.
Talks so all right.
Even about JP.
Bro, he'll talk shit about JP.
Yeah, so I'm
he'll
like,
talk
yo,
shit about
that's your
anybody.
boy, like,
he'll
what
talk
are you
shit
doing?
about anybody. He don't care. That's his business. Like his game is to talk shit. Like he's not essentially great at it. The best shit talker in my opinion is Killcat, is Danny.
Right, he's pretty good.
his
Shit.
But but when he does come on,
Isn't he like in a C4 class, something like
no,
that?
he's oh shit.
Damn, man.
Oh shit.
Oh snap!
Oh, shit.
You gotta come on now.
I'm DMing
bro.
him that.
Oh man!
But yeah, he is the best shit talker. But that dude that you're talking about, I don't even know his name.
I don't know his name either.
Talks so much shit.
Yes.
It's just like
Yeah,
that's
it's
all
crazy.
his Instagram account is for, is talking shit.
Yeah,
That's
pretty much.
funny, bro.
Yeah, so it was funny because we were lined up to race. So JP was behind me, and we were supposed to run it from a dig. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. For whatever reason, whoever was setting everything up made JP stay back, and they lined me up with somebody else. I think it was a 240. It wasn't Sinclair. It was some other 240. So we lined up at the light, right? And regular tree. we both take off, and he breaks an axle, and I break my transmission. We both literally just boom. I look at him, and I stroll just a little bit over ahead of him.
I win.
Yeah, I'm like, oh snap!
Most anticlimactic race, man.
Crazy.
He's gonna be an awesome race.
Boom! Literally, both of us break. And then ever since then, JP has been trying to get me to race, and I was down to racing for sure. I mean, even though his car is faster now, 100%. In the C2 class, he can't turn it up all the way, so it's...
Well, I would say in the C2 class, he can't turn it up all the way. From a roll, from a 40 roll, he still has some issues gripping. From a dig, you might get him because...
Not right now.
Well, no. Well,
I have my car set up that I'm still suffering from trying to take the car from the dig.
Well, if you guys had the same power, I think you would take him because off the line, he's having a hard time gripping right now. But I think he's going to put weight in the front of that thing.
Right.
I think that EG come IRRA season, that EG is going to be
that car's fast,
quick.
He's come up
Mr.
quick.
Consistency.
Yeah,
that's his new nickname.
Did you see that Bradenton run, bro? He ran 9.4, 9.3, 9.3, 9.3.
All right, I'm out of here. All right, that car's moving, bro. That car's moving, bro. Props to him. Yeah, man. That car's moving for sure.
And then he had to eat his bumper, but it's gonna be good. I'm stoked to see you out there.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Tell your
it.
girl thank you for everything that she's put up with to help you get out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Every time she helped you just crank that engine out a little bit higher.
Yeah, hit the jack a little bit. She goes back inside.
But really appreciate you.
Oh man.
You good? All right, bye.
Yeah. All right, I'm out of here later.
But yeah, I appreciate you making the trip up here. After the IRRA season, we get some races done. We'll bring you back. We'll do a recap show and we'll talk about it and how your season went. This being your first season.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate you racing, being on board there, taking that 2-hour trip. For us people who love to see good races, I like to see the best cars out there.
For sure.
And I've like I said, I've watched you race a couple times.
I appreciate you saying one of the best cars and putting me in that category.
I like to see it out there, bro. I love to
it.
see it out there. And for somebody who's that passionate, who paid their own way, put their own parts in their car, did a lot of work themselves, it's really awesome to see that come together and then get you out on the track.
Yeah.
So from the Bearded Garagistas, we appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you.
All right. Anybody watching on YouTube, you better have already hit the like button and subscribe. But if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and do it now. Thank you very much. Podcast, we appreciate you. beardedgaragistas.com is up as always. Check out the Patreon. We got a couple of more businesses about to pop up on there. I'm about to put 2 or 3 up within the next week or so, and that's growing as well. We really appreciate everybody's support. Still waiting on the shop. How's that going, by the way, bro?
I don't know, man. You get anything?
No, I didn't get anything in the mail. Goddamn Florida. All right, well, when the shop comes up, we will have T-shirts. Stickers are actually in the process. We're going to have actually really cool announcement. I'm happy to announce it on the show with you. Anybody who's been on the show will have a Bearded Garagista sticker with a microphone saying that you've been a guest on the show. If you're not and you're just a fan and you're supporter of the show, and we thank every one of you as well, you're going to have a Bearded Garagista sticker that will have headphones that will eventually be available on our website. You can DM us if you want them, and we'll have those as well. But the ones with the mics are going to be exclusively for the people who have appeared on the show.
That's cool. I like
so
that.
We'll get you one of those as soon as we get our hands on those. They should be done by the end of this week.
Dope.
Appreciate you guys listening and tuning in tonight, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Peace.